Yeah, I mean, it's the international weeks are always a little bit longer, and it's a time when we can hone in our skills and we can improve the bits that we need to improve. And we've got half the group, or maybe less than half the group, out there on the training field. We're recovering some players, and we've got some injuries in the camp. So it's about getting everyone healthy back. It's about getting the positivity back in the group after a disappointing performance and result, especially in Seattle, and ready for the next phase of the season.
A lot of those injuries sort of popped up, at least for media and fans, last second before Seattle. Yeah. How are Superich and Forey and Mati Rojas and the lot doing?
Yeah, I've got to say, the obviously Rojas was not really last minute for us. It was coming out of the Dallas game at half time. He had a little bit of I'd say it wasn't a tightness in his hamstring. We didn't want to take a risk with him in Seattle. The Zuprich, the 4-1, was more. They were more last minute. We got to the date minus one, and it was a back injury and a hip injury for Jimmer. We thought they'd be okay. We thought that the magnitude of the game would get them through, and it didn't. So we didn't take any risks with them there. We want them ready for the San Diego game. This moment in time, it looks like the ball's probably going to be doubtful for the start of training next week. So that puts them in a major doubt for the San Diego game. But I thought Kamal was outstanding against Seattle, and Ian Smith was as well. So I think we built a squad with depth. And now really what we want to do, we want to improve our performance levels, and we want to improve the results more importantly at this stage of the season. Are the performances important? Yeah, I think they are, but the results are vital. And it's a must-win game against San Diego, the best team in the Western Conference at this moment in time as we stand. And we need to get some momentum going into the playoffs now.
And then just going off of Kamal, you said he has a great performance against Seattle.
Yeah.
He was out of the team for a while back in August into September. But after coming back against Vancouver, he's quickly retaken a starting spot and now getting calls for Canada. Just how has he been handling just initially being dropped and now being able to come back into the team and fight for a spot?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you saw his celebration against Vancouver, how much it really meant to him, and the frustration that he's been having. But I think he picked up an injury, and Zupa came into the team and was outstanding, and now Kamal's come back into the team and has been outstanding too. So I think with our depth that we've got, I think you've got to take your opportunity when it comes, and Kamal's taken that. His performance level he was probably our best player in Seattle. In terms of the whole of the 90 minutes, his composure on the ball, his defending, he saved a couple of opportunities in vital areas for us, gives the team composure. And so you've got to take your opportunity. And I always say as a professional footballer is that once you get your opportunity, it's over to you. And against Vancouver and against Seattle, I think he took his opportunity.
Looking at the Seattle match, it seemed like there were a lot of times in which Jesus Ferreira was able to kind of pick up the ball in between your midfield and back line. How do you try and approach that, or look back at that and build the right structure, right formation, however you want to approach those types of situations, so maybe a player doesn't get the ball in that type of space and be able to turn?
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of occasions Ferreira did it. They were through ricochets, really. The big disappointment was probably the chance that we gave up that cost us the goal. The pass through the middle of the pitch. Anthony got out of position, and we didn't get it back into shape quick enough. And I think that was the main disappointment. I think in terms of chances conceded, we've watched the game back a few times. They didn't really create that much, and to be fair, neither did we. We had a couple of opportunities. Their keeper made a couple of good saves, but it was a really tight affair. I think their goal gave them something to hang onto. They worked really hard on their defensive structure, and they're stopping our transitions. We had moments to transition in the second half. We had a chance at the end with Pipe Mora. I just think probably over the last 4 or 5 games, we've not been ruthless enough. We've not done enough to win the games of football, and that we must take accountability for. Coming out the Seattle game after the game, I thought we'd competed really well in the game, but did we not do enough to win the game of football? No, we didn't, because it's been a pattern, it's been a consistency. So I think feeling sorry for ourselves and thinking that those results will turn around is something that we can't do now. We're literally at the last game of the season. We need to perform. I really believe that one team's going to suffer for what we've been going through over the last 5, 6, 7 games where we've been sort of like thinking about we should have taken our chances, we should have scored more goals. Defensive structure of the team, I think, has been really solid all season. I don't think that's a problem. Now we just need to be more ruthless, and we need our performance levels to get better and to become a playoff team. Our performance levels and the whole thing needs to just get better.
Finn Sermon in the starting lineup, kicking off agagst Poland in 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Yeah.
Any advice for him before he leaves? And
No,
you talk
just
to him on duty?
just get back safe, get back healthy. He's got 2 really important games in terms of his development and journey. Loves playing for New Zealand. We may have a couple of Canadians playing tomorrow, and we may have a Venezuelan playing, obviously Kelsey, tomorrow night. So we've got players that are playing really high level games of football, and you sit by the telephone, you sit by the TV and pray to get through those 90 minutes and they get back. I'm sure every manager that's approaching the last game of the season is doing the same, because at this stage of the season, any kind of niggle, any kind of injury can rule you out for really the rest of the season. It's going to be quite unforgiving, really. So we want them back fit, we want them back in form. I think international football is brilliant for their experience. The durability of flying somewhere, playing 2 games, flying back. We live in a world where there's a lot of talk of recovery and rest, and I think you look at the best players in the world, they play every minute of every game. They don't need rest, and I think that's what we're doing with Finn. He's getting that durability with playing games of football, and you can't always feel 100% when you play a game of football. You got to go out there and you got to go through it, and that's what Finn has done superbly this season.
Kevin Kelsey, you brought him up, 22 under 22 list. He makes it. From the beginning of the season to now, where has he grown the most in your eyes, and where lies the opportunity for him to continue to grow the most?
Yeah, well, I feel as if there's incredible depth development areas for him. But what I would say, I think the things that we were probably working on at the start of the season, or the frustrations of us at the start of the season with him, I think those frustrations are getting less and less. He's becoming a little bit more consistent every single game. He's obviously getting into good areas to score. This is transformation with his performances into goals now. The same with PP. I think he's on the right trajectory. I think he's trending in the right direction. I think he's got all the attributes to be a real top striker in this league. We forget his age sometimes, but I think at this stage of the season, he's now in his 2nd year as an MLS player. I think he's got to deliver. I've got to deliver. Everyone in this club has now got to deliver in the last few games, and then that's the thing that excites me the most about the team that we've got. I think there's so much more we can all give.
And then
one more?
Yeah, just one more. That midfield starting battle alongside Ajala, just how has that progressed since Felipe Carbaccio's injury?
Well, they've all played, and I think they've all done okay. I think Christian's played really well in the last 2 or 3 games. He provides, something a little bit extra going forward. João, I thought, played well against New York Red Bulls in Houston, and Diego, I thought, was fantastic in Vancouver. So I think we're just going to continue with this, putting the right players in the right position in the right games. I think in the last game, I thought David got back to some level of his form after having a little bit of a dip. So we need players hitting form now. I think that's the main thing. We need players hitting form. We need the team hitting form. We need the team really confident. And there was a lot of disappointment and emotion coming out of the Seattle game, because it was a derby, because it was a game where everything was in our own hands. And I think coming out of that game, do I feel like we've lost a bit of confidence? No. But what I do feel is if it's now time to deliver. That's how I feel. I felt that Sunday, Monday, when we had the days off, it was how can we find better ways to win games of football, and I think that's what we're working on this week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.